himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so knew I'm in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it. He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome back to Tuesday night's UkSimracers MX5 Season 2 of 2023, Round 4 from Interlagos Moto Track. Now, when I saw Interlagos on the calendar, I was most excited. It's my all-time favourite track. I do absolutely loved it. And I say loved with an operative term due to the fact we now are on the moto circuit. Now, as you can see from the track map in front of you, there is a squiggle in the final corner from running up from Junção round into Subido. Now, Subido is obviously the long right-hander at the top of the hill. That squiggle is part of the moto circuit. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined once more in the booth by Mr. Zach Sweeney here. We're going to go straight into this discussion because we do have a little bit of time left of practice, about 5 minutes before I show you the points. Zach, I'm not happy. What is this track version of Interlagos that we are seeing right now?
Well, officially, James, it's the Grand Prix circuit with a chicane, if you want to get nice and technical. However, I do completely agree with you. Someone who was designing Interlagos was like, we have crafted one of the best circuits in the world. And do you know what we're going to do? We're going to put a little squiggle there, just to be funny. Just because we can. Just because why not? Just because I've got a little bit of ink left in my pen. So I'm just going to squiggle it in. What goes through your right mind to think, perfect, long run, flat out from the last corner all the way to the center S, just put chicane in there. Like, it's just unbelievably silly. Like, I get it sort of at a circuit like the Red Bull Ring, particularly if you're on MotoGP and bikes and things, because the amount of speed they're carrying is incredible. I get that. But when you're doing MX5s, why do you need the chicane? It's just baffling to me. Fortunately, I suppose, sort of it's not really a silver lining, is it? Because it's not better than it was before. Sort of some positive thing to take out of this is the fact that it's not a stop-start chicane. So you're not going to have everyone bunch up, stop, and then go. It has got a nice flow to it, quote-unquote nice. It's left, it's right. You put your foot back down, and you're flat out again fairly soon. It's just unnecessary because you're going to be flat out pretty much all the race anyway. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I do agree with your frustration. Hopefully, though, it shouldn't take too much away from the racing that we're going to have.
Yeah, definitely not. This was the site and has been the track, of course, for the famous Mick Barry at the end of the JPB intro that you've got on your screen. And this is the chicane we're talking about. This, I don't even know what to call it. It's not even a chicane.
It's the third gear.
No, yeah, it is. But don't forget, he's coming up the hill now. They are only in MX5s. They only have got 180 brake horsepower. They're not exactly in anything.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
Forget a chicane. Why is there a barrier there?
I know. Who put that there? Good evening, Phil. Welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us. Good evening to everybody else as well. Of course, you know, we could be here for ages, but we better do the scores and bring you up to date what's going on in the pro class at the moment. Don't forget we have got pro and ams. In the pros, it is PVG out in front currently at the moment with 495 points. Jamie Ayres in second with 424. John Sylvester with 423 and Tom Griffiths on 422. They are the top four at the moment. Below that, you've got Miles Owens, Ewan Bramer, Daniel Hunt, Steve Hedford, Pete Newman, Ralph Cullen, Charles Kellerman, Martin Sampson and Darren McLean. Now in the ams, it is Arnold Chagnon out in front with 354. Of course, Mr. Chagnon had a stellar week last week out at Long Beach, taking 4 out of 4 of the victories, with Darryl Wright in second on 319. Then we've got that big old gap between Jason Huntington, Andy Littler, Dale Bennison and Roger Morton as your top 6. Alan Toon, Dan Lewis, Jordan Syret, Steve Hansford, Mick Barry and Anthony Jacobson. Now in the team standings, it is Momo and SOB still battling it out. Formerly what was Platinum Racing Team, and now battling it out up front here as well. Safeguard by result in third, Air Smart Racing fourth, Work Guard fifth, DOF Reality sixth, Optical Green seventh, Pure Sims, and then Results Clothing iRacing Team. Now in the commentator standings currently at the moment, I am still winning. Not by a lot, mind you, but I am still out in front by 1,202 points. And Mr. Sweeney, you are on 1,168, dear sir.
What's that? 34 points. I can live with that. I can live with that.
Yes.
Considering most of the season so far, the point systems have been wrong. To have them finally corrected and going forward properly is a very, very nice thing. Which means it inspires me with confidence, and it inspires me with all of the tools that I need going forward for the rest of the season, which I'm looking very, 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 very forward to, because my circuit of choice, my favourite circuit of the calendar, Snetterton, does not have a randy chicane layout, so it's all good. We're all sorted. I cannot be disappointed when we get to my favourite one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, and I'm looking forward to beating James when we get to week 12, and that'll be that dandy. But yeah, Long Beach was a weird one last time out, with sort of the calamity and people being off, and yeah, it was a strange one in all fairness, one that many people would like to forget. But yeah, it just made a bit of a shake up in terms of the championship commentator standings. But hopefully here at Interlagos, things should be a little bit more tame, because it's a circuit that surely you've got to be familiar with. Like, there's no way, even if you've never raced this circuit on iRacing, as Tom Griffiths is showing his interesting line through the Center S, even if you've never touched this circuit on iRacing, you should still have a very fundamental base knowledge of Interlagos, because it's a great circuit. It's a circuit almost everyone loves. So I am looking forward to some close and competitive racing. Yeah,
I think this, as I say, this is my all-time favourite track. I do absolutely love Interlagos. I'm not loving this squiggly in the middle. I really don't quite understand that. I wish whoever put this is obviously following the officials, so whoever, if this is in the officials, then somebody needs shooting. Why would you put this in? I have no idea. Spoiling a perfectly good, it's like putting peanut butter on a chocolate cake. Just doesn't work. So, you're spoiling a perfectly good cake. So at the end of the day, these are what these drivers are going to have to contend with. Now, it's very close, as we know, in the Pro Championship at the moment. Jamie Ayres is behind by 71 points, with John Sylvester 72 and Tom Griffiths 73 and Miles Owens 75. So, from that perspective, it's still close. And obviously in the AMS, it's kind of between Darryl Wright and Arnold Chagnon at the moment, with Wright 35 points back. But as we know, with 15 minutes and a reverse top 13 for race 2, it could all spin on his head. And I think that's one of the interesting things about this series and this racing is the fact that obviously it could change so quickly. It can go from so-and-so out in front by 150 to somebody else overtaking him in the next round because so-and-so's had 4 poor races. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where the excitement comes of this series. I'm not expecting any Mick Barry moments like we had at Interlagos last time out in season 1 of last year, I believe it was, 2022. Season 1 there was when we first started broadcasting these guys. So we have officially near enough become a whole year, if not a little bit more, already broadcasting the UkSimracers. But it's been an absolute stellar series. I am aggrieved by that little squiggly, I've got to be honest, because I was hoping for more Mick Barry moments, Zach. I was hoping to be able to go high-pitched and get told off by the wife who's going to have a go at me because I was screaming the house down, you know, and I don't feel that I'm going to get that today. I feel I've been, I don't know, bullied.
You've been bullied, have you?
I've been bullied,
So
yeah. I think
the iRacing
me.
official was sat around the meeting table and was like, right, lads, season 2 of 2023, MX5s, what should we do? And then one guy was sat there, you know what, guys? You know, I've got a really good idea. We're going to put Interlagos. We're not going to put the proper one. We're going to put the squiggly one. And do you know why we're going to do that? It's because there's this random bloke who commentates for Trainer Race Cars called James Parfitt. He's got like a VCO Simi nomination or something like that. No idea who he is. But we're going to do it just to annoy him.
Pretty much.
Is that your thought process here?
No, I'm just starting conspiracy theories because I feel like I can.
Right.
But that is generally my process. Yeah, the VCO nominee who nobody had ever heard of made it through to the final 5, and then all of a sudden they've now got a squiggly in Interlagos. It's just a natural fate, right. Zachary. 2 and 2 make 4. They don't make 5.
Are you sure? What if I said they make 5 though?
Well, depends what you were told as the baby. But then again, I suppose if you're looking at the grass on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, who told you it was green? Well, your mother did. And how does she know? Because her mother told her, and her mother told her, and her mother told her. Whoever started it off for saying that's green, we never know. So how do we know it's not red or black or orange? No, we know it's green.
Answer.
Go on, then.
I can give you that answer. It's because grass has a wonderful little pigment in it called chlorophyll, right? And that chlorophyll absorbs all of the light apart from green, which is why we see it as green. And we've called it green.
But it could be blue. That's why, James.
No, but it's not blue. Because if it was blue, we'd call it blue. And yes, we could have called green blue, but that doesn't stop green from being green. It's just green that's called blue instead of green that's... Do you know what I mean?
No, who told us it was green? No. Who made up, it was green? Anyway, look, we could be here all day when we've got some racing going on. We have got cars out on track, believe it or not, for qualifying. Pete Newman is leading the way currently here as well. He's in that Pure Sims car, so he'll be the first one to go across the line. Jamie Ayres has got some purple on the board. So has Daniel Hunt, and so has also John Sylvester and Miles Owens as well. So what are we expecting from this layout then? Because obviously we've got 3/4 of it, maybe a little bit more. Just a weird little thing. As I say, the draft doesn't look as strong. Putting that chicane at the top, with times are going to be coming in. We'll give it a minute to settle down, guys. They're all going to go through, so it could be just repeating different things. But I think at the end of the day, what sort of racing are we going to have? We always generally see good racing. Last week at Long Beach, that was a tough one, though. And it was very Monaco-esque circuit. It was very Monaco-esque ways of racing. And it was just all a little bit meh for me. I didn't come away from it feeling like I've watched the UkSimracers MX5. I don't know. I feel like I've watched NASCAR or something on it. I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see actually in first week in July, which was actually last weekend, how NASCAR got on at Chicago and whether or not it was a street circuit, Monaco, as well. It was good, was it? I
think it was good. I think it was good because Shane Van Gisbergen drove, and Shane Van Gisbergen commentated on him, by the way. He's a very nice guy. He was very quick in a NASCAR, so he did actually really impress, and it was a nice race. I didn't watch it. I just watched little bits of it. It was a good race. So it just goes to show that when NASCARs do something else other than turn left, they're actually all right. But anyway, we digress. Long Beach was...
Hold on a minute. Why am I reading YouTube and I see myself being called a middle-aged man with a Facebook account? Do you know how old my Facebook? Do you know how old my Facebook account is?
Is it older than me?
No, it's like 2 months. I don't even.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even want Facebook, but it was only because somebody said to me that they set up a business one, and I had to admin it, and that's the only reason I've got one. However, I do like Phil's comeback, the nominee who was a co-commentator that has not been nominated. So there we go.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice. Cheers, mate. Yeah. Yeah, they're all popularity contests anyway. Who needs an award? Who? Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. I think you know. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, shut up, James. Carry on. So we've got Tom Griffiths out on top at the moment. Jamie Ayres, Daniel Hunt, Ewan Bramer and Pete Newman. Van Gaal, Sylvester and Owens is in the pits. Now, I'm wondering, obviously, with their situation, the fact that they can't be coming back out here, what Pete Van Gaal actually managed to do. This is going down into Junkao. Left-hander. He's going to lock up and spin it, isn't he? And it's going to go off. Yep. The trouble is... that.
Doink.
Going to be the trouble. As for everyone else, I'm not entirely sure what they did there, but there we go. So Tom Griffiths currently out in front, which is absolutely stellar as well. If we went into race 1, could you pick your contender, young Zachary?
From what we see right now, yeah. I'm gonna go with Daniel Hunt because he's P3. He's very, very fast. Obviously, that goes without saying. I do want to wait and see what Pete Newman does in terms of like a really good lap time. He's had his bed. He's had his bed in. He's worked the tyres up to tempo, whatever. I'll wait and see what he can do. But Daniel Hunt is just over a 10th off pole position at the moment. I'd say Tom Griffiths, Jamie Ayres, Daniel Hunt, 3 of the strongest racers that we've got on this grid. They're so good at working their way through the field, working together, know when and when not to fight. But I'd say of all of them, Daniel Hunt is the quickest. And people might be saying, well, Daniel Hunt's down in 8th in the championship. Well, yeah, but he's won the most races this season. He knows how to win a race. He commanded so many of them over the course of season 1. So I'd probably go with Daniel Hunt as strongest. And obviously qualifying isn't over just yet. We've still got half of it left to go. But I would think that Daniel Hunt is a very strong contender. Also with that, Tom Griffiths is into the pit lane also, which tells me that either he's coming in for a pit stop or he's done for qualifying. But yeah, I mean, I can see Ayres doing it, I can see Griffiths doing it, but my money's on Hunt for race 1.
Right, okay, well, I'm glad you said Hunt, because I was going to go with Griffiths, and that's not because where he was. I was picking Tom Griffiths for race 1. He just happens to be in pole anyway, so I can't help that situation. Top 13 for race 2, Zach, so write that down. So you don't think I'm blagging you when we come to ask you for race 2's verdict. And then you can turn around and be like, well, I didn't know the reverse. You did. Well, it's top 13. All right.
It's top 13.
Yeah, top 13.
When have I ever said that? Hang on.
Last week, the other week you went, how come you know, I'm sure you know what the reverse is, but I don't.
Yeah, that's for race 3 and 4.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Phil said you need to know what you're doing, Zach, to be nominated.
Yeah, well...
You know what I mean?
I was hoping to be a commentator. You be a commentator because you got. He is every week. No matter what broadcast it is, as long as Phil's there, I get stick. So it's fine. I see how it is.
I think between you and Dan, I think you both end up getting it. To be honest.
Yeah, but do you know what? You know you've made it when you've got haters, James.
Yeah, I know. I think the problem is I set such high standards for everyone that you lot just can't keep up. That's all it is. You can't cut the mustard. So. Phil gives you grief. I've got to be honest. I don't actually know where Cut the Mustard come from originally. I did watch a video today that was telling about the some of where the sayings come from as a kid. You know, where you hear that shotgun, where you jump in the front and your sister's bashing on the window to try and get the door open because she wants to sit in the front, but you're actually sitting in the front as well. And
I get to laugh at that now.
And I actually heard that come from the old Wild West days. They used to have a guy sitting next to the driver of the horse and cart with a shotgun to scare off thieves, and that is where it came from. Now, have you ever heard the saying, close but no cigar?
Yes.
Now, when, according to the video, back in the old days in the fair, men used to be able to play a game in the fair, and you used to win cigars. So when you lost, the guy behind the counter used to shout, close but no cigar. And that is where the close but no cigar saying come from.
Nice.
I know. There was more in there, but I can't remember what they were, to be honest. I think my goldfish memory kicked in at that point. I was just impressed by the old close but no cigar, and that was it, really. But yeah, some pointless information. So true, James. Thank you, Phil. See? Phil things on right. Pete Vengel is not happy. He's in YouTube chat. He's just put an angry face, being that he's just crashed out with 4.5 minutes remaining. We are in that category where the ceiling almost looks like it's been hit here, as we see Arnaud Chagnon taking a very wide line out on that run up into the Ferradura as well. Not a normal place we see a car, but hey, Arnaud Chagnon is clearly driving more than we are. So we've hit that ceiling level again, Zach, where we get to about 4 minutes and then it all kind of goes a little bit, well, stale.
Yeah. We say it sort of almost every week, really, when it comes to qualifying. When you first drive a circuit for the first time, you do a lap and it's like, oh, that was all right, learning the ropes and stuff. And it's a way below average time. You go out again and you gain a second on your delta because you know the track a little bit better. And then you do another lap, you gain half a second, you gain a half second on the next lap, half second on the next lap. And then you get to a point where it's like, okay, well, I've nailed that lap and I've gained 0.2. Then I've nailed that lap and I've gained half a tenth. Then I've nailed that lap and I've gained 100th of a second. And then it gets to the point that you reach that ceiling where you find less and less and less for you to actually improve on, as someone is in protest. Chagnon is in protest of that chicane, very clearly. But you just get to that ceiling, you get closer and closer to your optimum, so much so that it is just that little bit harder for you to improve. And that's what we get when we get to this stage in qualifying. And it really is the test of strength. Can you pull a sensational lap out of the bag? Can you nail each corner and then still find some improvement on top of that to make that difference up? I mean, we're only talking a tenth of a second in that fight for pole. We're only talking 100th of a second in that fight for second, etc., etc. It's not much. But when you've already hit your limit, it's so hard to go even faster. Happy birthday. Nice. I respect that. And he's still playing pretend race cars. I love that. What a happy life. Oh, I love that. He should have. He should have got one for his birthday. Can you? Yeah, but that's at the Nürburgring. Yeah, but we can't because it's Dan. We're not allowed to.
Cannot hear James. I know why that is, Phil. I'd hit a button, but there we go. And now, hopefully, I'll be back so you can hear me. Hey, fair play. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll give over you. Otherwise, if I weren't here, you'd sound like you're talking to yourself.
That's the point.
Is it really?
That's what solo commentary does.
Still ain't going to get you an award nomination, but never mind.
No, it's not.
Right, here we go. Through this bit of the racetrack that I can't quite fathom. But anyway, onwards and upwards with John Sylvester and Miles Owens still out on track here as well. 1 minute 8 left on the clock. Sylvester is improving, so I wonder what he's going to do. Hug the left-hand side, sir. Don't go... No, you're taking further than you need to. You could have come round the left. As he goes over the line there as well. And John Sylvester doesn't improve from 7th. 152.13. So overall improvements, but there you go. So there we go. Up and running once more. 42 seconds left. Zach's gone for Tom Griffiths. I've gone for Dan Hunt.
Nope, other way round.
Other way round. I've gone for Tom Griffiths. Zach's gone for Dan Hunt. So let's see how this one pans out here as well. We're not allowed any smirky comments if our drivers crash out, unlike last week, young Zachary.
I do not have snarky comments. I simply have observational.
Yeah.
Go on, what did I say? Pull up the quote, and if it's not quoted word for word, then it's not valid.
I think you did say something along the lines of. What did you say? I'm not laughing James, but I'm saying it with a smile or something. It was, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
I don't know, to be honest. I can't remember what I think last night.
Funny that. Oh, was it goldfish memory all of a sudden here from Zach, which makes me worry a little bit. Right, here is the grid anyway for round 4 at Interlagos. It is Tom Griffiths on pole, Jamie Ayres, Daniel Hunt 2nd and 3rd, Pete Newman 4th, Ewan Bramer 5th, Pete Van Gaal 6th, John Sylvester 7th, Miles Owens 8th, Martin Sampson 9th, Arnold Chagnon 10th, Darrell Wright 11th, and Charles Kellerman is down in 12th. Andy Littler, Jason Anderton, Mick Barry, Dale Bennison and Sir Alan Toon rounds off the final slot on the grid. As we can see, Tom Griffiths there sitting menacingly on pole. Of course, they've got this slate uphill. So there you go. Going to sue for defamation with such a claim. Why are you going to sue Phil now?
I'm not going to sue you. I'm going to sue you, Phil. I'm going to sue you. Defamation.
Why?
I'm not.
Are you defamating me? No,
I'm being defamated.
Are you really though? Let's face it. Sometimes the truth hurts, and sometimes we just have to swallow it. Right, here we go. Lights are out. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go at Interlagos. And it is Tom Griffiths currently out in front, leading us down into the centre S's for the first time. Dan Hunt and Jamie Ayres. Jamie Ayres is running up the inside. Is he going to be able to get past Tom Griffiths? Griffiths is running around the outside line. He's going to have the inside for the exit of the centre S's, but can he hold it as he goes running off down the curve of the Sol? It's not. It's Jamie Ayres, but Pete Newman's also making his way past Daniel Hunt, currently at the moment in 3rd place here as well, but it is Jamie Ayres who's stolen the lead right at the beginning from Tom Griffiths. Pete Newman's going for it once more. He's going to have a go at Griffiths as well. Down into Disargo de Lago they go, and nothing doing there as well. Not a bad start for everybody, but Jamie Ayres with a flyer.
Indeed so, and already Griffiths on the counter-attack as they exit Desida de Lago, up the hill now, in towards the very, very long right-hand side by side as Pete Newman tries to catapult himself in a 2nd place, nearly slashing the rear bumper of Jamie Ayres off. But back into the race lead comes Tom Griffiths, followed by Ayres, by Newman, and then Daniel Hunt. Bit of contact into the next right-hander, and that might be to the celebrations of Dan Hunt, but no changes as of yet. Look at that timing tower though, James. No more than half a second between each of these cars. That is what we love to see, and also a slipstream chain hopefully beginning to form, because what we'd love to see is Griffiths under an insane amount of pressure for the rest of the race.
Well, some of us would like to see that, others would not. We've got
from a racing perspective. I promise you that.
We got
absolutely.
Yeah, all right. Defend yourself, quick. Get a hole. Right, we got a 9-second gap across the spread of the whole field at the moment. 17 cars battling away here on track through this chicane. They go, or bus stop, or whatever. It's not even on a track map. I haven't even got a name for it. As they go running off now once more for lap at the end of lap 1 here at Interlagos. And it is Griffiths, Ayres, Newman. Newman's just managing to take that position away. Is he going to be able to hold it? He takes off Jamie Ayres' nose. He cuts straight across him. Daniel Hunt's going to try and run around the outside of Ayres as well. Ayres has gone backwards as much. He didn't. No, yes, manages to hold on there. But that was lucky for Jamie Ayres as Pete Van Gaal gets shoved on to the rumble strips on the left-hand side.
He does indeed, and look at Daniel Hunt. He is dropping like a pebble in the water, and now getting pushed through. There's Sylvester and Owens trying to pick their way past, 2 wide, 2 deep into turn 4. Outside line for Dan Hunt. He's going to get pushed to the outer extremities of the circuit. However, has got a decent run, little bit of overlap. He still needs a little bit more on that run uphill in towards turn number 6 if he wants to have a nice little look. It is a bit more of a break in turning these MX5s. Dan Hunt does go for it, wanting to lose as little amount of time as possible and also maintain as much track position as possible in his pursuit for maybe a podium, maybe a race win. Ewan Bramer looking quite menacing in all fairness to go for the move back on him. But Dan Hunt once again up inside the top 5. Has to be said though, very uncharacteristic poor start for Daniel Hunt. It's not very often we see him go backwards.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. But at the end of the day, they, racing is racing, isn't it? And this sort of racetrack lends itself at the end of the day to going, can work out that way. You go onto the main straight, and once you get past that chicane, you could end up losing positions if you're put in the wrong place. And Daniel Hunt was definitely put in the wrong place. He messed up going into the curve of the Sol. He had a go and just couldn't make it past Jamie Ayres. And unfortunately for that, he then got himself bullied out by the SOB behind him as well. And obviously with there's 3 of of them together, Bramer, Owens and Sylvester in as well, fighting it out. So, you know, there's a lot to take in here, and Interlagos, as we can see, somebody's got to slow down that. That is a slowdown for Sylvester coming out of that chicane. But it is now Newman having a go at Griffiths. Round the outside of turn one, he's going to go. Griffiths is going to defend that line. He's running in deep. He's pushed Newman out. Newman's looking for a gap. The gap's not going to be there. Jamie Ayres sweeps round the both of them and takes the lead once more.
Beautiful move from Jamie Ayres, it must be said. Here comes Daniel Hunt getting himself back into the mix, up ahead of Pete Newman, and still swapping for the race lead. Jamie Ayres, PVG potentially on that run into turn number 4. Defensive goes Ayres, and his teammate of PVG follows him. Here comes Daniel Hunt. Is he going to go for any sensational dives? Inside line of Tom Griffiths, who falls victim side by side as well. This is Bramer versus Newman. The Pure Sims driver pushed the outer extremities of the circuit through turn 4, 2 wide, 2 deep. As once again we climb up the hill towards turn 6. Are we going to go 3 wide? Close to contact, and that was scary.
There was contact with Griffiths and Ayres there. Griffiths and Hunt, sorry. Hunt come across Griffiths' nose, and unfortunately for him, he's losing positions as quickly as anything here. It's like Tom Griffiths has jumped onto roller skates and everybody else is on tyres, and Griffiths is just going down the order. You can't be doing this. You've got to get up there, son. Come on. I need the points. I don't know. These drivers clearly don't worry about the commentators' championship here, Zach, do they?
It's so inconsiderate of them. How dare Pete Newman overtake Tom Griffiths knowing that you voted for Griffiths? It's selfish, James. It's absolutely disgraceful. And they all need to have a good old hard look at themselves and think, what am I doing with my life?
I don't know. It's just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. But they are going through, chicane, 9 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
Anyone else going to get another slowdown? They're not this time around. I think this is going to be Griffiths' opportunity here to have a go at Pete Newman. He's going to pick up the draft, lock up the inside. Newman's going to go over. He knows Griffiths is not close enough this time around. He's pulling in, but it isn't just enough to get past him. Looking for the 50 board. On the brakes we go, and down, dropping into that center S as well. Hitting that apex on the left. Trying to get on the gas as early as possible. Full flat if you can make it. Get the run out of the curve of the soul. Now down the Aposta we go. Are we going to make it past Pete Newman? Are we on board now? Newman's gone to the left-hand side. He's going to send us around the outside. He's not got much choice. Griffiths is going to go for it here, Zach. He's going to have a go around the outside into Interlagos. Is he going to make it work this time around? He's not, and Newman is going to hold on to that place.
He is indeed. Brilliant move in order to hang on to 5th place, just covering off your bases. Griffiths did look for the up and under, not quite able to come to fruition. There's Dan Hunt darting to the inside of PVG through turn 6. No changes there, as you can see Ewan Bramer also trying to get into the mix. Very wide from PVG. That's going to promote Dan Hunt to maybe have a bit of a look to the inside. That is now versus Jamie Ayres. Actually, it's not even PVG. He's all the way up in front. Jamie Ayres is now the one fighting with Daniel Hunt. Also Pete Newman back into the mix. That's Screwly from Hunt, and they're 3 wide off the circuit. Goes the reigning champion.
Yeah, Hunt there couldn't hold it. Oh, Bramer pushed out Pete Newman. Bramer got his elbows out. He opened up the steering coming out of Bico de Pado and literally just opened up the steering on Pete Newman. That's promoted Griffiths back up into 5th. Down 4 places at the moment. Newman's all out of shape. He's in the inside of Jung Cao. That's not going to work either. How are they going to get past this chicane? Are they going to manage it through? Pete Newman's got Martin Sampson. He's pulled Martin Sampson along with him, and Miles Owens all in the battle at the same time. Here comes Bramer. Here comes Griffiths. Griffiths has got to have a go now. He is literally tucked up nose to tail currently at the moment. Here we go. There is the SOB. We're going to go on the inside. We're going to be looking for the 50 board on the right. We're going to be hitting the brakes just about now. Dropping down into the turn 1 of center S's. On that run we go, and I look thinking here, Zach, Tom Griffiths did it. He made it through.
He did indeed. Up now to 4th place, but well, now he's only down to 4th place, I suppose, as opposed to being up to side by side for the race lead, by the way. The 2 Momo cars, Jamie Ayres versus Pete Van Gool. One of them started on the front row, the other on the 3rd, and PVG has had a very incredible ascent to the top. Daniel Hunt, though, stagnant from where he started. He's had a rough patch, but he's worked his way back into contention. However, we've got about 6.5 minutes left to go of this first heat of the UkSimracers MX5. Brilliant race so far, it must be said, and part due to the slipstream keeping everyone nice and close. Jamie Ayres has vanished into thin air. Thankfully, he's back. And we've still got all the way down to Miles Owens nose to tail in this training for the lead.
Yeah, we have as well. John Sylvester's going to be, he's got Arnold Chagnon for company. Chagnon's got Kellerman. He's got a 3-second gap back to Darrell Wright in the AMs. These two fighting out in the championship. So at the moment, Chagnon is sitting pretty. Mick Barry has had a little bit of a moment. I'm not entirely sure what Mick's been up to here either. I'm wondering if that's the early stages of something. Oh no, going too wide through there. That's never going to work. That's basically, and that's Jason Haddington. He took with him. I've got a funny feeling that Andy Littler may have been involved. No, Littler did make it through, but yeah, that looked painful. Griffiths is dropping Pete Newman, believe it or not. 1 second now back to Newman. So Newman is slowly being dropped here, Zach, as well. And we've got the first four of Ayres, PVG, Hunt and Griffiths could be battling it out for the lead as we go into the last 5 minutes.
He could indeed. So we might separate itself into just a 4-car train. Just a 4-car train. Outside line for Daniel Hunt versus PVG. Outside usually reigns supreme as long as you can keep your nose there and keep the momentum up and take the track away from the car on the outside. That's not been the case as PVG works his way to the inside, continuing to go side by side through turn number 3 on the exit now. And this back straight towards the Interlagos. Jamie Ayres trying to give the slipstream the way of his teammate at PVG. Tom Griffiths back into the mix. Pete Newman back within a second. So no hopes for these guys of having an easy life. That is not going to work out for them. And they all settle 1, 2, 3 and 4 as they were. However, a better run from Hunt might see him up the inside going into 6.
Yeah, maybe we'll just have to see how he gets on. Hunt's trying to run up the inside of the Ferradura now as they're going round into SA. Currently the right hand at the top of the hill. There they go. Into SA they go once more. Tom Griffiths is trying to have a go at PVG on the inside there. Newman's back in the mix. He's pulled along Ewan Bramer. Newman's going to send out the inside of Griffiths. Griffiths is going to lose another position. He's got to try and stop the landslide. I think that's the problem, is when they see this landslide, they basically just end up losing more and more positions. And it somehow just works out, doesn't it? Because Griffiths has gone down the order from 4th. He's under pressure from Bramer, who's back here as well. So there's a lot going on in this front 8 here, and they're literally separated from 1st to 8th currently by 2.5 seconds. That's it.
It's nothing really. 8 cars, 2.5 seconds, about 3/10 of a second between each car. I think my maths is right on average. Yeah, something about that. About 3 and a bit tenths between each car. Nothing basically, and it is exactly what we love to see. It makes it very reminiscent of oval racing, kart racing, anything along those lines where you've got multiple cars bunched up nose to tail. It really adds a different dynamic to the running of things. Pete Newman trying to increase his way onto the podium, looking to the inside of PVG. No changes there as the Pure Sims driver unable to find a way past. But it really changes the dynamic of things because you've got to be very careful when, where, how you go for moves, because if you get it wrong, you've got 6 other cars queuing up behind you waiting to take your place.
Yeah, but that would that's the situation, and Jamie Ayres is finding himself in that position now with Daniel Hunt in behind him, with PVG behind him as well. Hunt trying to run around the outside of Delago. Is he going to be able to make it through? He's not. He's going to get an off track for that one. PVG is going to hug the inside. He's going to try and have that run up the hill into the Ferradura. Griffiths is still in this. Bramer's still in it. Sampson's slowly dropping back from Owens. Hunt's dived up the inside of PVG. PVG's just been pushed out. He's also going to lose that place to Newman. Griffiths needs to get in there as well if he's going to make it even worse for PVG, and he has done. PVG will have the inside down into Pinarino we go, and he manages to hold off Tom Griffiths but loses a place, 2 places to Hunt and Newman. It's just, if he gets that line pushed, he's just unfortunately out of it, isn't he, currently at the moment?
Exactly, yeah. As soon as you're offline, as soon as you're out of sequence, again, everyone behind you is like a shark smelling blood in the water. They're like, thank you, cool, there's a line for me to take, there's a line for me to find my way through. So easy to tumble and fall victim to mistakes in packs like this. As I say, you've got so many people waiting behind you, ready to chew you up and spit you out if you get it wrong, particularly if you sort of get stuck on the outside when you go for a move. It's just not what you'd want to see, because everyone behind you is like, cool, you're on the outside, I'm going to go to the inside, I'm going to take the track away from you, la da 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 da, this is my position now, suffer, basically, which makes defending and attacking so much more difficult when you're in races like this. But as we cross the line, I think
final lap.
this is the final lap. Yeah, it is. Are we 3 wide into the first corner, though? Maybe. Dan Hunt and Pete Newman for second.
Yeah, Jamie Ayres out in front currently at the moment. Final lap of this race. We're going to have 8 laps here as well. Newman's trying to push Hunt out. PVG's trying to push Newman through. And Tom Griffiths is trying to get in the mix all at the same time here. This could be a 3 wide if we're not careful. Or is it going to be 4? Hunt is defending from Tom Griffiths. There's going to be trouble here. Something's going to happen. Griffiths is trying to go around the outside of PVG. He does manage to hold on to it here as well. I think Griffiths is going to have the inside on that run up the hill. Hunt's going to have the inside over Newman. Owens is still involved in this as well. This is the final lap of race 1 here as well before we go into the top 13 reverse. Currently with pole being taken by Sir Alan Toon in the next round if it stays as it is. Owens is just past Sampson. They're all in the picture together. Every single one of the cars was in the picture together, and an absolutely stellar picture that is as well. Ayres and Hunt battling out still. Here's Zach for the final lap.
Indeed so, and opportunities running thin. Tom Griffiths with a desperate send, PVG with a desperate send. I think they're all waiting for that final run to put your foot down and pull out to the left-hand side before you get to the line. Daniel Hunt, though, into Juncal might well be his final opportunity of the race. He's late on the brakes. It's not quite late enough. They've got the chicane. They've got the run to the line left to go. No mistakes from now, and it could be Jamie Ayres to take. Pete Newman putting some pressure on Hunt.
Yeah, they're coming into the chicane now for the time here, and this is it. This is going to be the run. It looks like Ayres is going to wrap this up in the pros. I'm not going to lie. What about everybody else behind him? They're in literally just a train going on here as well. Griffiths has got a slow down. It's gone down the order, but it's going to be PVG over Daniel Hunt, who's going to take second place. Jamie Ayres is your winner. PVG in second, Dan Hunt third, and Tom Griffiths got a slow down, and Newman as well, and 8 guys down in 7th and 8th place. In the AMS, it's the one and only Mr. Chagnon once more with Darrell Wright in 2nd place. Well, that was a stunning race 1.
I have to agree. Exactly what we like to see. The exact type of racing we like to see. We didn't have any major incidents. No one span off. No one went into the barrier. No one crashed. What we like. That's exactly what we like. Sends to the inside. Racing all the race long. And then a run to the line. Daniel Hunt was very lucky not to lose the podium there with a poor run. And Jamie Ayres was perfect. He didn't defend. He didn't take any awkward lines. He didn't slow down. He put his foot down and he ran away with it off the final chicane. And he was a very deserved winner because he controlled that race pretty much from start to finish. Very good way to kickstart the evening. And now we've got race 2, 3, and 4 left to go.
Yeah, we definitely have. As we can see, Dale Benison and Andy Littler coming across the line there as well. But here are the results from Heat 1. And it is Jamie Ayres out in front with PVG in 2nd, Dan Hunt in 3rd, Ewan Bramer 4th, Martin Sampson in 5th, Miles Owens 6th, Pete Newman 7th, Tom Griffiths slow down at the end in 8th, John Sylvester in 9th. Then we've got Arnold Chagnon who takes the victory in the AMS again. That's 5 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. There might even be more than that. Charles Kellerman in 11th, Darrell Wright in 12th, Alan Toon will be on pole for the next one, Andy Littler, Dale Benison, Mick Barry and Jason Hanning. Right, I'm going to leave the results up on the screen. Give me your prediction for race 2.
I'm going Tom Griffiths. Yep.
Griffiths?
Yep. Starting the highest up. He's got the least amount of people between him and the lead. Yeah, let's go for it.
You know what? I'm going to put myself out on a limb here, and I'm going to say John Sylvester.
All right. I can... See, I get that because the style of racing that we had in race 1 did sort of lend itself to sort of unpredictability. And as long as you're in the slipstream, as long as you've got decent track position, you can do all right. It's just the case that in that race, John Sylvester was a little bit off the train. He was fighting for the slipstream. He was basically getting the crumbs at the end as opposed to actually being in the mix. Now he's in the mix. He might be a good shout. But then again, so could everyone. As long as they all stay bunched up and all stay within that slipstream, if you can just pick your way through one by one, I still have no reason why Jamie Ayres cannot win race 2. I just think that Tom Griffiths is going to put his best foot forward, and provided anything does happen behind, he's going to be the one to capitalise on it. And if there's one thing you want around a circuit like this, around a race dynamic like this, is quite a hefty lead. is to not be pressured and to not be involved with carnage at the back of the field.
Well, unfortunately, carnage seems to be the middle name, doesn't it, here, unfortunately? And it does seem to happen sometimes within race 2, 3 and 4. So let's hope that they didn't. Obviously, Charles Kellerman causing himself some carnage there as well as he went off track here in the practice session. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure I'd even worry about going out, because you're only probably going to get the out lap and the fast lap, and that's about it. But Dale Benison clearly knows something we don't, as we've got 2.5 minutes left of the warm-up here as well before we go into race 2. So I've got Sylvester, Zach's got Griffiths. Let's see how it plans out for race 2 here. And, well, it's going to be exciting, dear sir, isn't it?
Yes, that goes without saying. It's of course going to be exciting. Of course, we can't say that with absolute certainty, but we can say it with decent enough certainty that it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to be a good race. And if it's not, we'll hold our hands up and we'll say very sorry, ladies and gentlemen, the kind viewers of the JP Broadcasting YouTube channel, of which you should subscribe and you should turn the bell on for notifications and you should like the stream. If you enjoy what you're watching, obviously, but why wouldn't you? Because you've got Zach Sweeney and that other guy commentating.
Sorry, the award nominee, you mean?
A nominee, but did you win it?
No.
No, exactly. So you just have to go.
But never mind. Move on.
All right. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be a good race, I think, James.
I think it will be. Sorry, I was just taking a bit of a drink of an orange juice there.
Nice.
No.
Has it got bits in it?
No.
All right.
No, it's squash. Sorry, squash.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Nice.
I keep a bottle next to me that says drink. So I need to.
It's just got drink on it in case you forget.
Yeah. Well, it has got something else on it. When I left the school, one of the students bought me a drinks bottle.
Oh, very nice of them.
Yeah, and it's got some words on it as well. So yeah.
That's very cute. I have a massive 2-litre bottle of Pepsi Max.
Yeah, that will give me bubbles, and
I'll give you the heebie-jeebies.
yeah, it'll give me bubbles, and all weird and wonderful things would come out of my mouth.
Lovely.
At the same time, of course. You know.
Nice.
As
you do.
Well, you know, I've got to be a little bit careful, because as I found out the other day, when you stop saying words, it makes it sound like something completely different. So, moving on swiftly.
Right.
Onto the 30.
It's on a broadcast.
Yeah.
Which broadcast?
I can't tell you. Right. We'll have a chat in the green room at the break.
Okay.
All right. We'll have a chat there. But never mind. Right. 15 seconds remaining before we go into the 15 minutes of race 2. I'm looking forward to this one. Should be a good one. I think it's going to be exciting.
So. Who did you go for, by the way?
Sylvester.
Of course, yeah. Tom Griffiths, John Sylvester. They're sharing the same row, I think.
Okay, well, this could be exciting then.
It will be. At least they'll be one behind the other. At the very least, they'll be one behind the other because they finished 8th and 9th in race 1. So, yeah, bring it on. I think race 2 is going to be very exciting, not just from the commentator's perspective, because I got 3rd place and you got 9th place.
Right.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards for the grid for race 2. It's going to be Alan Toon on front with Darryl Wright, Charles Kellerman, Arnaud Chagnon are your 1, 2, 3 and 4. John Sylvester, Tom Griffiths, Newman, Owen, Sampson, Bramer, Hunt and PVG rounding out the top 12. Jamie is 13th, Littler, Benison, Barry and Hannington. Now I've read it quite quickly because they're on the grid already. So excuse me while I didn't ponder over telling you what row we were on at that moment in time, partly because of the fact I didn't have time. But here we go. We've got Alan Toon out on pole. Now, are we going to see Al go for it, do you reckon? Is he going to go for it and celebrate his birthday in style, or is he going to do what Alan Toon does? Here we go, though. Lights are going to be coming out for race 2. 5 lights. We're underway. Alan Toon's let off the line with a big puff of smoke. Is he going to lead going down into turn 1? It's going to be Alan Toon, Darryl Wright, Charles Kellerman. Don't spoil the party. Charles, no. Alan Toon, he isn't going to lead, but he's still in 3rd. And Charles Kellerman is on the grass. That's never going to work. Oh, no. Oh, that was Newman, wasn't it?
John Griffith.
Griffiths, Sampson and Sylvester.
Oh my goodness, what has happened here? 3 wide, and then it settles down, and then it doesn't. There's carnage there, one of the SOB boys, and then Sylvester goes around, tag, and then someone just drives into the side of Sylvester. Not Sylvester, Griffiths. And then there's even more. Okay. How do you call that? What even happened there, James?
I'm not really too sure, but all I do know is Darrell Wright's out in front by 2 seconds. Ewan Bramer's battling away with Jamie Ayres here as they're on the run up into round Ferradura and into SA. So apart from that, I'm not really sure what happened. Apart from chaos, we'll try and have another look back in a minute because there was quite a lot of people involved in that. Barry, Griffiths, Sampson, Hunt and Sylvester and Kellerman. So Kellerman started it all off with a spin in the centre S's. Then comes Sylvester that just joined him, and unfortunately for him, he torpedoed through. But Pete Newman's just got past Darrell Wright, and Newman's now out in front as well. Newman is going to basically wrap this up one. I've got a funny feeling here. It's job done. I'm not putting detriment to anybody else, but it's Pete Newman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree, I'll be honest. I mean, as confident as I am in Arnaud Chegnonier's ability, I don't think he's got the pace. He's definitely not close enough in the slipstream really to contend much, relative to Pete Newman anyway. And over the course of race 1, it was pros and then it was AMs. There was no mix match. There's none of that. Ewan Bramer flies his way past Sir Alan to no surprise. Obviously, unfortunately, Alan is not overly
He's
willing to...
Hold on. Ooh, back up. He didn't let Ayres through. He had a go. Sylvester's in the pits. Oh no. Oh no.
He's crying.
Oh, I know, but Tooney's having a go here. Go on now. Give it some welly in that left foot there, son. As he pulls all the way to the right-hand side here, does Sir Alan Toon. Absolutely stellar job so far. Down 5 in 6th place. Currently at the moment, he's now... Oh, he's on the brakes. And everybody else has gone through.
Yes.
Gutted.
Good thing you didn't vote for Alan Toon, unlike I did.
Yeah, you did that in race 1, in round 1, so that was kind of your own fault in race 4, so I'm not going to lie. Suck it up, buttercup. But Jamie Ayres hip checks Darrell Wright there, gives Darrell Wright a little bit of a nudge. Tom Griffiths is trying to make his way back through the field. He's just about to go and overtake Jason Haddington on that run round Ferradura. They go and off once more into SA. My boy's still in the pits, unfortunately. John Sylvester doesn't look like he's activated anything. He's out now. However, he isn't a lap down because they've not lapped him yet, but not an ideal scenario for my boy, not going to lie.
No, it's not. Neither for mine either. Tom Griffiths in 12th. Yeah, I don't know. I would say, I'm not laughing, but I'm going to say it with a smile on my face. I would say that, but I can't because Griffiths is in 12th.
So this is how it all kicked off, right? It's tied here. Watch Kellerman start this off.
Ooh.
Then Sampson spin. Oh.
There's nothing anyone could have done there.
And there's not even contact there between Sampson and Griffiths. Watch the front right of Sampson.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big old gap here, watch. And then Griffiths there.
Yeah, wow. He's got another... Oh, not a car's whip, that's a bit over exaggerating, but he's got a double-decker bus through there, mate.
Yeah, so clearly something decided that it was not going to love the fact that that was going to happen, and they made contact, and unfortunately for them, they're down the order. Sylvester is out, Barry's in the pits, Hunt is back in the pits as well. Barry went off track and did it himself. Unfortunately for Mick Barry, what have you been up to this time, my dear sir? Same corner as he did last time, spun it off this time. Did he?
Wow.
Was he just looking at something completely different now and not actually the road? But there we go. Darrell Wright and PVG. PVG's just cleared Darrell Wright, and Darrell Wright has now got Miles Owens for company. Arnaud Chegnonier, though, not going to lie, still hanging on to second place here for the lead of the AMs as well.
Yeah, lead of the AMs, obviously very important. Basically, he's just hoping that Miles Owens and co find a way through on Darrell Wright, because the bigger the gap between Chegnonier and Wright, the more points Chegnonier is going to gain on Darrell Wright in that AM Championship. However, in terms of pace versus Pete Newman, that last lap was a 52.4 for Newman, a 53.3 for Chegnonier, just shy of a 9/10 differential between the two of them. So not anything major in that regard, probably just Pete Newman sailing off to victory bar any mistakes. Here is that fight, Miles Owens versus Darrell Wright. That 0.3 of a second between the two of them, the fight for 6th place overall. It's been a war zone of an open lap, and we found ourselves with a very mixed match grid, kind of, where just different people are just struggling to find what they can get and making the most with the cars they've been dealt.
Yeah, definitely are here. Owens is trying to have a go at right currently. Sean Yonye's being closed down from Bramer. Newman's already gone. I think Newman, bar any major mistakes, is going to win this. PVG set the fastest lap of the race, mind you, on a 1:51.142. Newman down to 2 seconds now out front, with Sean Yonye holding on here nicely. Wright and Owens are still battling out. Down below that, we've got Griffiths and Littler. Littler's closing down on the free work guards in front, which is Dale Bennison and Sir Alan Toons. So the free work guard by results all there to correct together, and Griffiths is having a go at that one. Sean Yonye's just lost a place to Bramer. What about Griffiths? Is he going to make Andy Littler, well, pay for his leaving the door wide open there? I'm not going to lie, that's not an ideal scenario, and he does do, and Griffiths is up into 10th place currently. Darrell Wright still being chased down by Miles Owens once more. Owens slips up the inside. Job done. Jobs are good in there over Darrell Wright. So Miles Owens up a position as well, sitting in 6th place now, +2 for his evening. And Bramer and Ayres and Van Gaal have all cleared Sean Yonye over the last lap. Unfortunately for Sean Yonye, he's gone down into 5th, but still leading the AMS.
Yeah, wow, Sean, that did happen a bit quick. And now the gap that he's going to gain over Darrell Wright is going to be a little bit slim. But I have to say, I'm quite surprised at the pro to AM difference here at Interlagos. I would expect it to be one of the smallest of the season, considering it's got quite a heavy reliance on slipstream for good racing. Not necessarily for good racing, but you know what I mean. Tom Griffiths as well found himself well and truly inside the top 10 with the move past Sir Alan Toon. He got past Dale Bennison and Andy Littler not too long ago as well, and finds himself in 8th. But I have to say, continue to go side by side here actually. We'll come back to that in a second. Bennison versus Littler into the chicane. Outside line is better, and then he's able to hang on to it. But the slipstream is so strong here. Surely it'd be better for the AMs to stay in touch with the pros. As well, the pros are just settling up amongst themselves. PVG works his way past Jamie Ayres, who's trying to get past Ewan Bramer himself. Momo versus SOB. We've seen this for the last 4 months of racing. Yeah, I'm just perplexed at how the AMs, quite bluntly, are just that much slower than the pros.
Yeah, but that's always been the case, really. I think there's a clear, definitive line between who is pro and who is AM. You know, Sean Yonye can battle it out. He is leading the AM championship. But I think from Sean Yonye's point of view, it's knowing who to fight and when to fight them. I don't think, you know, he would be like that with if it was Darrell Wright behind him at the end of the day. You know, PVG trying to have a go at Bramer here, the two Dutchmen together, once more battling it out as they go round Ferradora up into SA, the right-hander. Dropping down, there is a little bit of a dip. You've got to use that part of the camber before you go down into Pinarino, hug the inside, and then you're looking for that fast exit on the gas. Out you come up into Pico de Palo. There's always been a clear, definitive line though, Zach. I think that's the thing here between the AMs and the pros. You know, Sean Yonye is not stupid. He knows who to race, and there's no point in him racing these three people when at the end of the day all he's got to do is stay ahead of Darrell Wright.
Yeah, I suppose, but I mean, there's never really been a... Oh, that's off. That is also off for Ewan Bramer. He's going for a bit of rallycross. Oh my word, he keeps it out of the barrier. That was impressive. But he's lost 2 places, and Sean Yonye found himself back up in a 3rd.
So there we go. And that's how quickly it can spin round. So, once more, Sean Yonye's found himself back into 3rd place. Miles Owens is having a go here at Ewan Bramer. Darrell Wright's tucked in behind him as well. 5 minutes on the clock. We've got about 3 laps remaining here as well. Somebody is sitting off there. PVG's just stuck by the looks of it. I'm not entirely sure what Pete's been doing or up to or what the situation is, but either way, PVG not having a good time of it here with Miles Owens and Darrell Wright and Ewan Bramer behind them in 4th, 5th and 6th respectively. But Sean Yonye again 3rd overall. So is there really a clear definitive line? Probably. Sean Yonye got lucky, absolutely, but he'll make the most of this situation he has got.
Yeah, that's the thing with the AMs, is that while they have sort of been always notoriously slower than the pros, you'd expect them to be, there is always a bit of overlap. Sean Yonye and Wright can sometimes mix it up with some of the pros sometimes. We've seen it before. But the main thing about the AMs, because it's one long scoring list as opposed to pros 1, 2, 3 and 4, AMs 1, 2, 3 and 4, it's everyone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down. It means that people like Sean Yonye, people like Wright, in a championship so close, I mean, realistically, it is only them two fighting each other. So realistically, they've only got to worry about each other. For Sean Yunye, he can just finish him 5th, Daryl Wright 6th, and work that way. Or he can make the most of situations like this, finish 3rd when Daryl Wright is in 6th, and gain substantially more points by making the most of situations that come his way. And that is so important for a driver like Sean Yunye, like Wright, like the whole AM field, to make the most of what they've been given. Because on a normal day, yes, it's going to be Pete Newman. Yes, it's going to be Dan Hunt, John Sylvester, Tom Griffiths. The entire pro field are going to be the ones to, on paper, win the race outright on pace. But if things happen, if carnage happens, if you can make the most of it, very easily, the AMs, they've got enough in them to hold their own. They've got enough in them to stake their claim. They've got enough in them to hold track position, which means that we could well have a fight for the podium, particularly now we're into sort of the final few laps. It means that much more to Sean Yunye because he realises there is a chance for him to keep it.
Yeah, Alan Toon doing a stellar job sitting 3rd in the AMs at the moment, ahead of Andy Littler and Dale Bennison and Haddington and Sampson and Kellerman, who's got no front bumper here as well. Alan Toon is going to lose that position to Littler. Littler's going to try and he backs out and allows Tooney to take it, and Alan Toon does manage to hang on. He goes a little bit deep into the centre S's. That's going to jeopardise his exit. He's going to... No!
Silence is deafening.
Unfortunately for Alan Toon, that also involved Sampson and Bennison. So as much as Tooney went to go and save his slide coming out of centre S, he caused more carnage trying to do so. Unfortunately for Alan Toon, I'm sure he's there apologising deeply as quickly as he possibly can, and yeah, trying to settle that scenario down, because it's completely not his fault. He tried to correct the slide, got the slide corrected, and then unfortunately spun back into the traffic.
Yes, unfortunately so. And that's just how the cookie crumbles here at Interlagos sometimes. Yeah, it's just been carnage, and we didn't see any of that through race 1, and yet we've had it in bucket loads in race 2.
Yes. As Pete Newman's going to come across the line and take the final lap, the white flag will be out for Mr. Newman. Barney will hopefully not take the night off, and he will be there as well on the left-hand side, frantically waving from the gantry. There he is, final lap of the race. Job done pretty much for Pete Newman, led from start to finish, really. He didn't really have much competition to go past. Sean Yunye is battling around. He is defending from Miles Owens here as well, so I guess he's trying to hang on from Owens, as Owens is going to try and dive around the outside of the centre S's. He's going to block the road. That's not going to allow Sean Yunye to have the exit he needs to try and hang on from Ewan Bramer. Just open up the steering, mate. He ain't going to be able to get past you. Open it up, open it up, open it up. A bit late. And Bramer looks like he's going to make the move down into Delago around the outside. No, Sean Yunye opens the door.
I mean, both of them follow through. It's just important about Darrell Wright, who is going to let through in the end anyway. So Sean Yunye's lost the AM lead on the final lap by allowing Bramer and by allowing Owens through. Darrell Wright is now into the AM lead, into 5th place overall, and Sean Yunye is on a fight back. Why not defend it?
I didn't get that. I didn't get why he opened the door up.
Oh
no! Give it back. Oh, Darrell Wright.
Oh no. In a bit. No, that was not the right thing to do. Oh wow.
It was coming though, wasn't it? It was coming.
Yeah, you take what you give and things like that, but yeah, was it really necessary?
No, but he did get dived. No. But anyway, Newman's going to come across the line and take the victory in race 1. Not race 1. Oh, I'm losing track already. Race 2, Pete Newman, stunning victory from him. Here we go, across the line for the Pure Sims boys. Job done. Jamie Ayres going to come over in second. How's this going to work out with the SOBs? Is it going to be Miles Owens? Is it going to be even Bramer? It is Owens and Bramer. Haddington and Littler battling it out on the run up into Juncal and through that part of the racetrack that I don't even want to mention here as well. And Hannington gets a slow exit. That is going to free up Littler to go on that run as well. No, it wasn't going to happen, but it really did kind of start from there, didn't it? That's
Yeah.
If he'd have moved over now and let Wrighty through, I don't think Wright would have gone and done this.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have done that because now he's going to be the one getting the penalty.
Yeah,
And
but you've got to look at the build-up. Chagnon died.
Yeah, no, I
right?
get that.
He was never going to make that. That was just an elbows out, let me through. Wright's gone on the gas and used Chagnon almost as a brake. And unfortunately for Arnold, Chagnon has gone round. So, you know, there's two ways of looking at it.
100%. I don't agree with either driver. I'm not saying Darrell Wright was a victim. I'm not saying Chagnon was a victim. I just don't think it needed to happen. I think that two wrongs don't make a right. Obviously, it just doesn't work, right? Any siblings will know that their parents have scolded them with it many a time. You don't do it. If someone does it to you, you sit back and you just wait, and you go for an aggressive move, but you get away with it. You give them the elbows, but you don't get a penalty for it. You don't intentionally take them out through the next corner because you're going to get a penalty. You're going to get reprimanded. If you're going to be aggressive, do it in a sneaky way. But what do I know?
Not a lot. Right, Pete Newman is your winner in race 2. Jamie Ayres is in second. Miles Owens third. Ewan Bramer in fourth. Darrell Wright fifth. Tom Griffiths sixth. Arnaud Chagnon in second in the arms. We saw that incident between him and Darrell Wright there. Andy Littler eighth. Jason Haddington in ninth. Charles Kellerman 10th. Martin Sampson 11th. Dale Bennison down in 12th. John Sylvester down in 13th. Pete Van Gaal 14th. Alan Toon ended up down in 15th. Mick Barry and Daniel Hunt there as well. So that's come to the end of race 2, guys. We're going to jump onto a quick BRB screen as me and Zach determine that we're going to go and grab a drink while we change sessions over as well. But for now, guys, much love, and as always, we'll see you after this quick break. Okay, guys, we are back with myself, James Parfitt, and Zach Sweeney in the booth to bring you race 3 and race 4 here. Complete random reverse for race 3, top 15 for race 4, and once more we are still at Interlagos. We haven't changed tracks, of course. We're still at the same one here as well, Zach. Race 2, a little bit more scrappy than we expected, caused mainly by that big old start shunt with Kellerman, Sylvester, Griffiths, Sampson and Hunt all involved in that, and then Toon, Sampson and Benison also having a moment as well. So a little bit scrappy through race 2.
Yeah, it was. Ever so slightly. And I don't really know what the cause of it was, whether it was impatience, lack of awareness, ignorance. I'm not entirely sure, can't put my finger on it. What I do know is that it shouldn't have happened. It was just overly aggressive, unneeded, and there were plenty more opportunities to come in that race. Obviously, a couple of people were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, particularly Daniel Hunt with Kellerman and Griffiths coming together. He had no time to react and was just collected. Obviously, Netcode as well had things to play in that as well. So it wasn't everyone's fault entirely, but there was definitely more that could have been done to help prevent it. Also, later on in the race with Wright and Chonier as well, that's a whole different thing entirely. A lot of race 2 didn't need to happen, but nonetheless, it was a very deserved win for Pete Newman in the end. And fingers crossed, they've learned the lesson and they can get it back under wraps for race 3 and 4.
Right, okay. Pick for race 3 then. Who are you going for? You can't pick Griffiths and you can't pick Hunt.
I cannot. The thing is, obviously, is you don't know where people are starting for race 3, which is the problem. I mean, I'm just trying to think. Jamie has had a really strong day, first and second. That is huge for his championship against PVG, and there's no reason why he can't do it again. But knowing my luck, the race I do actually predict him is the race he's going to do poorly in. But that's not going to stop me. I'm going to go with Jamie Ayres.
Okay, I'm going to go with Pete Newman.
Fair, good shout. Yeah, no, absolutely.
He ran away with race 1. I don't think he'll be stopped in race 3. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, but why did he run away with things in race 2?
Because there was chaos behind him, but I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Was it his pace? Was he 6.5 seconds quicker than...
Yeah, well, he was showing more than he had, I think. I think there was more in the tank for Pete Newman. I'm going to go with Newman anyway. Race 3. You got Jamie Ayres. So we got Griffiths, Hunt, Sylvester, Griffiths, Newman, Ayres currently at the moment. That's the situation. So we can't pick any of them for race 4, dear sir. Okay, so you can't have Hunt, you can't have Griffiths, and you can't have Ayres.
Cool, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. That's all good. Happy with my choices so far. And so far, they've actually worked out for me. Even though Griffiths had a really poor race in race 2, he still finished 7th, which is a lot higher than John Sylvester finished. So I'm looking pretty good in terms of a comeback for this round.
That's all I say about that.
He's living denial.
I'm not in denial.
I don't mean the river in Egypt either. I mean he's in that stage of grief.
Well, let's see. I was still winning by points coming into this, so you know I'm going to take it as I'm still going to be winning by the end of it. Maybe.
By the end of this, that's a bold claim to make.
It is, especially as I do the points.
You do actually, so you can just manipulate it and say, "Oh, sorry, Zach. Yeah, whoops."
Yeah, I won't. I wouldn't do that to you.
You would.
I know. How rude, young Zachary. Has we got?
Is it incorrect?
It is incorrect. That is an incorrect assumption that you're making currently at the moment, and I'm not. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Have you got a case there? I don't know.
Maybe for defamation of character, according to you. Right,
James guy.
Here we go. Grid's going to be coming up. They have just ended the session, which is great. We are moving into race 3 before we go into 4. And let's have a look at the grid when it all finishes flickering around. And here it is. Darryl Wright is in first, PVG second, Chonier third, Owens fourth, Alan Toon fifth, Ayres sixth, Hunt seventh, Kellerman eighth, Newman in ninth, Sylvester 10th, Mick Barry in 11th, and Tom Griffiths is in 12th. Then you've got Haddington, Littler, Bramer, Benison and Sampson here as well. And once more, we're up and running very, very quickly. They didn't want to wait for the lights. The lights are going to be on, all ready, and race 3 is going to be up and running. 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go. Darrell Wright got off the line. Pete Van Gaal did as well. So did Arnold Chagnon. So did Jamie Ayres here as well. Dan Hunt's up a place at the same time. Pete Van Gaal is going into the lead. In the centre S, he does do. He goes in a little bit hot, manages to control it. Ayres is getting through here as well. Pete Newman has jumped Charles Kellerman. He's gone up the inside. Oh, he's gone. No. Mick Barry, a little bit of a collision there as well with Martin Sampson. Tooney was involved in that once more. But it is PVG, Chagnon and Jamie Ayres, your top 3. Just about to go 3 wide with Darrell Wright, Dan Hunt. And Darrell Wright backs out and says, no, thank you very much. That involved, right, Sampson, Toon, Barry, Benison and Haddington.
It did, as Miles Owens picks his way past Darrell Wright. The AM's not really too interested in getting in amongst the pros today, unfortunately for us. Big one, though. And it seems that people really didn't learn their lesson for race 2 and didn't want to calm themselves down. Obviously, it is a short, slightly uphill run into the centre S. Then it dips downhill, obviously, through the left and the right. So it does sort of open itself up for a couple of incidents. But there's no excuse. These guys know a lot better than that. And I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, you guys need to do better. But you need to do better. Unfortunately, it's been not the best in the opening stages of this race. We'll take another look at it, of course. Martin Sampson following him.
Mick Barry kicks off with Barry here. There's slight little contact there with Newman and Tooney.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, it goes, Sampson gets involved there as well. And then Kellerman and Barry and Benison. So it all gets a little bit scrappy in that mid-pack here as well. However, for Newman, he's down all the way down in 10th place at the moment. And Miles Owens is currently chasing down Daniel Hunt and Darrell Wright. And Jamie Ayres, well, Jamie Ayres is sitting in 3rd place currently at the moment, chasing down Arnold Chagnon.
Yeah, not the best of opening moments to this race, but the show must go on, and it does continue indeed. Here's Jamie Ayres trying to pick his way past Arnaud Chagnon. Daniel Hunt, Miles Owens still moving their way past Darrell Wright, who is actually quite interested in giving them a bit of a battle. Meanwhile, though, PVG, championship leader coming in today, of course, is looking mightily strong, it must be said. Over a second clear already. And if Ayres doesn't dispatch Chagnon quite quickly, it's going to be a very, very dangerous game that Van Gaal might be able to run away with. Under a second, which is probably what I'd say the crucial zone is. Left-hand side for the Momo car, the Welshman, who's on fire today, inside into 2nd place. As John Sylvester moves his way past Darrell Wright as well. Now, the race is on.
Yeah, Griffiths is going past. Bramer's trying to have a go at Wright at the same time. And as well, these 4 battling it out. Newman's trying to get onto the back of the pack. Darrell Wright does go, but gets overtaken by Sylvester, Griffiths and Owens. They're all at the same time, unfortunately for him, and Bramer in the mix once more as well. PVG out in front by 1.2 seconds over Jamie Ayres with Chagnon and Dan Hunt battling it out nose to tail here as well, having once more a go. Dan Hunt is just about to slip up the inside of Arnold Chagnon. Job done for Dan Hunt. Owens again now going to have another go at Chagnon once more. Is he going to be able to get through? The Newman gaps is down to 1.7 and closing rapidly on Darrell Wright, so we might be able to see Pete Newman gain some places, because once he gets past Darrell Wright, there is a group of cars in front of him that he might be able to pick off some places for. How far can he get? Can he get up to Jamie Ayres? I'm a little bit more realistic. I'm probably going to say no currently at the moment, because the gap to the leader, Newman's currently got a 6.4 second gap.
Yeah, it is a big one. As Owens and Chagnon go side by side as well. That's for 4th place in the background. The white and black car, that's the SOB of Miles Owens. He's on the inside, and Chagnon backs out of it. Quite wisely so. Daniel Hunt is actually the one setting the pace, matching pretty much what Jamie Ayres did. A 51.790 compared to a 51.780. So those two virtually matched on pace and driving onto the back of PVG. And as quick as Pete Newman is, I don't think he's going to be 6 seconds quicker than a 51.7 consistently over the course of the remaining 9.5 minutes we have left of this race. Tom Griffiths, though, might still be a shout for at least a podium outside on Chagnon, who himself goes in deep relative to Miles Owens. But yeah, I think this race is between the top 3 and no one else.
I've got to somewhat agree with you here as well. Pete Van Gool, Ayres and Hunt. Owens might be able to tag on if he can get some draft from Hunt in front with Chagnon, Griffiths, Sylvester and Bramer behind that as well. Newman did get past Darrell Wright and is now chasing down Iwan Bramer. There's 2.7, well, down to 2.5 now. So maybe Newman might be able to make up some positions if he can latch on to this group. How far can he go? That's going to be the question, I think. Got caught up with Alan Toon. I think Tooney was trying to move out of the way and unfortunately took Newman there, put the brakes on, and Newman unfortunately went into the back there as well. And will you two stop having a fight in YouTube chat, Mr. Zach Sweeney? Leave Phil alone.
It is not. But
Stop. Thank you.
Have I been demoted to the naughty step?
Yes, you are.
Have I actually been demoted to the naughty step?
5 minutes count out now. That's it.
So you've got 5 minutes by yourself. I'll go.
No, I can't.
Do you want coffee one up at the kettle? Or?
Yeah, go put kettle on. Make me a coffee, Zach Sweeney. Make me a coffee here as well in Interlagos. I'd love it. You know what I mean? Have I got any coffee left? No. Unfortunately, what I have got has gone cold. So not an ideal scenario. But once more, Daniel Hunt is still fighting out. Miles Owens trying to get onto the back. Hunt has just set the fastest lap on a 1:51.134 here. This is all out of control. Can he hold it though? He did hold it this time, but Dan Hunt's trying to seize the opportunity. Ayres giving him room on the inside, and Daniel Hunt does go through. What about Griffiths and Owens? They're still fighting out here as well, Zach, for 5th and 4th place respectively.
Yeah, it is nice that I still want to be heard in this chat. And now, side by side, Tom Griffiths goes to the inside of the Cida de Lago. Inside of turn 4, of course, for those of you like myself who cannot pronounce Brazilian names. And he's worked his way up into 4th place through turn 4, holds it through 5. And now also Ayres versus Hunt, who are not doing themselves any favours in closing the gap to PVG. A second now is the gap, growing to 1.1. They've got to buck their ideas up quite quickly because with just over half the race left to go, PVG can maintain that second margin. It's danger zone for anyone else to come close to him.
Yeah, Newman's now latched onto the back of Arnold Chagnon here. Newman's got the gap down to 6/10. So it's now just going to be how far can Newman get up the field. He's clearly got pace currently at the moment. Last time out 1:51.68, which was near enough 2 seconds quicker, faster than Chagnon. He's about 4, 6, 7 tenths quicker than Pete Van Gool in front. So Newman's clearly showing pace here at the moment. So he is currently one of, if not the fastest man on track in the 151s. Daniel Hunt is 1:51.13, but Newman's having a go here once more, and he's going to use Chagnon for the draft to pull him up to the back of Iwan Bramer.
Indeed so. But of course, time is not on their side, and that's the whole format with these 15-minute races, is that time is not on your side, and you have to make the most of each and every single opportunity that comes your way. I'll be honest, I'm surprised it's taken Newman this long to get past Chagnon, but better late than never, I suppose. He's got, is that crumpled up the front end ever so slightly?
Yeah, Alan Toon up the...
of course he did.
On the bumper, should we say. So there we go. So he's now got 1.4 second gap to Iwan Bramer. Last time out 1:51.4, 1:52.1 for Bramer. So Newman there currently 7 tenths quicker than Bramer on the last lap as well. So if he keeps going, there's a possibility probably could get near 6th place with Sylvester, but that's going to be a tall ask with 6.5 minutes remaining. PVG, Hunt and Ayres battling it out up the front of the field here as well, and they're battling for 1st, 2nd and 3rd, young Zach.
Well, this is what we love to see. And it's Momo bread with a Daniel Hunt filling in this top 3 sandwich. They've also got Tom Griffiths and Miles Owens and potentially John Sylvester as well. Now they have all 7 of them within a second of each other. Love to see that. Just over 6 minutes left to go of race 3. Nose to tail. Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres, PVG, all of them have got an opportunity a little bit wide from the lead Momo as Daniel Hunt tries to get the up and under. But I think that's what Jamie Ayres is counting on, really, more than anything. It is the top 2 to go side by side, so he can just get an amazing run on the both of them and find his way up into the lead.
Yeah, definitely there as well. Newman's got a 1.5 second gap now to E1 Bremer. Hunt has not got that. Currently, at the moment, he's side by side with Dan Hunt. Griffiths involved in this one. Miles Owens, John Sylvester, E1 Bremer, and then Pete Newman as these guys go along the start-finish straight, coming down into curve 1 before they go into the centre S's. Here they go now, dropping down. Ayres is going to get through on Hunt. Is Griffiths going to go through as well? Not this time around. Griffiths, fastest man on track at the moment, is at 1:51.07.
Very impressive times, it must be said. And looking forward to seeing how far he can go forward. Now, trying to make some advancements on the podium, which does allow the two Momo cars to ever so slightly get away. So Hunt and Griffiths need to settle this dispute sooner rather than later. There's Ayres for the race lead as well, looking to the inside of his teammate. He brakes earlier and concedes the position. Griffiths has no sense of the idea of giving up a position. Daniel Hunt forced off the road, and now, oh my word, swerving to avoid him. Here comes Miles Owens as well into the mix, up the hill and towards turn number 60. Very, very long right-hander. Daniel Hunt has the inside, but look at Griffiths. He's brave, he's bold. Is he going to be brilliant by the time they get to the exit? He's got to do it all over again for the next right-hander, but he's given him a good run, long way around at turn 6. Unfortunately, Daniel Hunt's going to hang on to the position.
Yeah, he did just hang on there as well. Newman's lost time over that last lap. 1:51.9, 1:51.3. So he's dropped 6 tenths at the moment and is now 1.7 seconds. Griffiths is just about to have a battle with Miles Owens. Griffiths will have the inside for Pinarino here beforehand. Owens, if he's not careful, he's got to either drop back in or hang it round that outside to try and get the inside for SA. Didn't do either. He dropped back in once more as they come down in through Jean Cal. Sorry, they're a little bit further up than I anticipated there. Mind you, there is a track map on the right hand side.
Oh!
And Griffiths goes round.
Oh my goodness. I looked down to get a drink, look back up. Griffiths has
Binned
nearly... Yeah, and binned other people with him as well for good measure. That was... Wow. That caught me off guard, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but he managed to avoid everyone there, Zach. I'm not going to lie.
He did. It was only a self-victimization, which is a good thing. But I think that was more luck than car control. I think it was just these three were able to get their way through before Griffiths rejoined the circuit. That was so close to SOB never ever allowing Griffiths to finish a race ever again.
Yeah, it was, and lucky enough for Griffiths, he did manage to hang on to the car there as well. We do have Jason Addington sat in the waiting room here. I will complete the race first, I think, before we have a chat with old Jace here, as these guys are coming round now through Delago and off the hill up into the Ferradura. There was somebody briefly off track, Newman, but he is dropping back from these guys as well. He's trying to hang on here. Gap's down at 1.5. Van Gogh is still holding on to the lead. Ayres is still giving him a fight. Hunt's now back within a second. So is Owens. So is Sylvester. So is Bremer. Newman's 1.6 back from that as well. He's trying to hang on and get into it. I think once he gets into the draft, but he's only going to have a lap left. They are going to come around and take the final lap of race 3 here.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they will. Absolutely, they will. 12 and a half minutes elapsed already. And they usually start the final lap with about 13 and a half left to go. So, yeah, it makes sense that this is the penultimate lap of the race. And PVG, I mean, he looks strong, but 8 tenths of a second, Interlagos slipstream, Jamie Ayres, it's not comfortable. So PVG's got to push this final lap.
Yeah, he definitely has. He's got to not basically get caught up here and get caught up in his own success. He wants to go out and complete. Obviously, we know he had hardware failure after race 2. So we'll have to see how he gets on, and hopefully he'll be able to complete the lap. But here they are, the 4 cars, 2 Momos, 1 DOF, 3 SOBs and a Pure Sims, all coming over the line at the same time there. 1:40 on the clock, final lap now as well. And here we go once more for the final lap of the race here, Zach. And let's see how this one pans out, bud.
Indeed, so not long left to go at all for this race and for the evening. Of course, it's been a brilliant showcase here in Interlagos, and under a lot of pressure actually is PVG for the race lead. Now it depends how eager is Ayres going to be to attack. Of course, they're teammates, but they're also championship rivals, top 2 in the championship, of course, and Jamie Ayres does look quite keen. Inside line through turn 4, PVG's got it covered. Daniel Hunt, though, Ayres has got to be careful, because as much as he might want his teammate to lead them to a 1-2, they don't want to jeopardize it, because they've got Hunt, they've got Owens, they've got Sylvester and Bremer all eager also to get into the mix. Defensive once more, going through the long right-hander up the hill through 7 again. and PVG is able to hang on for now. But with just over half a lap left to go, there's not much in it whatsoever. Nose to tail, the top 6 cars nearly, top 4 are nose to tail, and then Sylvester and Bremer make up the rear of it. I have to say, where does Ez get this done? Is it the run to the line? Is it a good run out of the final corner? Does he even get a chance? That's late on the brakes into the next, I think it's a turn 10. PVG, as it stands, has got a good wrap on this, but we'll find out with the final few corners.
Yeah, coming down into Juncao now, round through Mugello they go, down into Juncao, it's going to go right. Believe it or not, that's not an off-track, but if you do that on the curb beforehand, it is an off-track. This run would really normally put up some great racing, but there is this, which still can't get over. But here we go on this run now. Is it going to be PVG? Is it going to be Jamie Ayres? They're going to be running down into the line. Ayres is slipping up into the slipstream. He pulls out now. PVG is going to go. Is he going to be able to get it down into the line? It's going to be on the line. It's going to be PVG. What about Miles Owens behind that? It isn't there as well. Owens, Newman, Hunt. Newman got Hunt. Hunt must have got a slowdown there, and Newman got him. Chagnon is going to come across the line as well, and that, well, was about as close as you can get it.
Yeah, wow. Love to see it. Of course, without that, I think without that chicane, Ayres would have won that. Absolutely, categorically. But we've got a chicane, so he didn't win it. PVG did, with a great run off the exit of the chicane. Brilliant stuff from all of the drivers involved. Unfortunate for Hunt, of course, who only is 7th. Unfortunate for Newman as well, who's only been able to work his way up to 6th. Jamie Ayres, though, on a sensational run of form. First, second over the course of this evening. He's on fire. However, PVG winning this race has put a bit of a backwards momentum on that. And, well, here's Mick Barry out of the final corner, and he's by himself, but it's for 14th. So I don't think he's going to really get many standing ovations with this one.
No, it's not my Mick Barry moment like it was before. So, unfortunately, Mick Barry comes over the line. Complete anticlimax to what it was last time. So Alan Toon there as well, and with a top 15 reverse, Tooney's going to be on pole again.
Yes. How long are you going to keep that pole though? Is a different story.
Absolutely. Right, let's have a look for your results here from race 3, and it is PVG from Jamie Ayres for 8,000th of a second. John Sylvester in 3rd, Ewan Bramer 4th, Miles Owens 5th, Pete Newman 6th, Dan Hunt 7th, Arnold Chagnon 8th, Tom Griffiths 9th, Darryl Wright 10th, Martin Sampson 11th, Charles Kellerman 12th, Andy Littler 13th, Mick Barry 14th, Sir Alan Toon 15th, Jason Haddington and Dale Bennison. And we have got Jason Haddington waiting patiently. He's been in there a while, bless his little cotton socks, but he is into the booth now as well. Good evening, Mr. Haddington, sir. How are you?
I'm alright, yourselves?
Yeah, I'm alright. I would say an interesting evening of racing for you. Race 1 in an accident, race 3 in an accident. You know, it's been a tough night, isn't it?
A very tough night, because there was accidents that I wasn't part of, if you know what I mean, from my mistake or anything, so... But still smiling. Got to, haven't you?
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all you can do, mate. What's the plan for race 4?
Keep away from an accident.
Okay, well, I will hopefully not have to write your name down on my little sheet of paper that tells me what's been going on throughout the evening here as well, Jace, to be honest. You know, it has been tough. I do love Interlagos. I want a quick opinion on that chicane thing that's in there. Do you like it or not?
Hate it.
Thank you.
It's there for motorbikes. It shouldn't be there for us.
I agree.
So.
Fully agree.
And tonight, rather than doing the winners between you and Zach, you should have done how many times I crash.
Well, yeah, I unfortunately, we didn't think about that one, Chase, to be honest. I
can't count that, right?
No, and Zach Sweeney, behave yourself. It's all right, Jace. It's getting sacked in the morning. It'll be all right. But look, you know, going forward, let's see how you get off of race 4, Jace. See if you can keep out of trouble. That would be ideal, eh?
Yeah, hopefully, guys, and enjoy the stream as always. So I'll be watching it tomorrow morning while I'm working. So as you can tell, work's busy. So
yeah, don't tell the boss that, mate.
Yeah, he won't be watching it. So
that's all good.
Yeah. I'll catch you all later then, guys.
Mate.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
See you later, mate.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, we've also got, blimey, we've got rush of interviews now. We've got our Flying Dutchman, our winner here in race 3, Mr. Pete Van Gaal, by 0.08 of a second. Not so much after that, Mr. PBG. You didn't race 2. Race 1, you took a second place, but never mind. Overall, though, mate, all good for so far for you.
All good for so far. Yeah, in that second race, I had a contact with E1, and then my wheel, I got like a USB wheel, and it disconnected, so I couldn't get it into gear. And I had to just take my headset off, trying to find my USB cable, plug it back in. So yeah, it was a bit of a handful to troubleshoot on the spot there. So yeah.
But you did it, mate.
Yeah, I did it, and this race was all right.
Well, it was. You was under pressure from Ayers. You know, look, we know, right, from traditional, with the whole Mick Barry moment we had here, it's now world famous in the intro and everything else. I thought we might get one of that, but somebody decided to put a squiggly bit on that run up to the line. Pete, who did that?
It's the officials are running it, so we follow the officials. But on the previous versions of this track, the moto layout had a sausage curb on it, so that's why they never raced it, and they removed the sausage curb, and then now we're just racing this. But you can't. Once you're there, you need to go in a train through it, because if you go side by side like you've seen in race 1, it just can't be done, because you'll all get an off track or just die into the wall.
Yeah, I know, but why couldn't you just say, right, we're not going to do that version, we're going to do the normal one?
True, but it's not me making the decisions, is it? So it's just we said we follow our racing, and then we need to follow our racing.
But you're in the admin team.
Yeah, I know, but I just found that.
Can you put up an argument for me?
Yeah, could have, but it's a bit late now.
I could have, but I couldn't. Thanks, Pete. I could have done, James, but yeah, no, I couldn't be bothered. But look, going forward there, bud, you know, you're going to be in 15th for race 4. What are we thinking? What's the plan?
The plan is to stay out of trouble in the first 2 laps, and then see what I can gain after that, and just try to keep it on track, and I'm going to go for a finish within the top 10.
Okay, mate. Well,
and I'll be happy.
I look forward to seeing that one, bud, and we'll catch up with you as the season goes on, or maybe after the race, buddy. See how you get on.
All right. Take care, lads. Thank you.
Mate. Bye. Right. Zachary, top 15 reverse. Who you got?
Oh,
you can't remember where they finished, can you?
No, I can't.
There you go. Look, I'll be nice.
Oh, beautiful! I didn't have to scroll back in the YouTube stream. Thank you for that. Who have we got?
So you can't have
Barry on the front row.
You can't have Hunt. You can't have Griffiths, and you can't have Ayers.
Why am I tempted to go for Mick Barry just for the just for the sillies? I don't know. I mean, I made a similar mistake at round 1 when I went for Alan Toon. But I want to do it just in case it does happen.
Go on then.
But also, I care about this champion. No, I don't.
He does really. Everyone, I'll let him point out he does care.
Can't go for Griffiths. He's the highest. Can't go for Hunt. Could go for Newman. But what's the fun in that when I could go for Mick? You know what? Yeah, I'm going for Mick Barry.
All right.
Just have it be known that I'm more fun than James Parfitt.
No, see, I can't go with Griffiths even if I wanted to. I can't go with Sylvester and I can't go with Newman. All right. Do you know what? Let's do something a little bit crazy, right? We'll go for No, I'm going to go with Andy Littler. We'll have a battle of the AMs for this one. Not the overall, cool. How far the AMs finish, whether or not Andy Littler or Mick Barry. How about that?
All right, yeah, no, I can live with that.
All right, we'll have a little bit of fun on the last one here as well. So I've gone Andy Littler, you've gone Mick Barry. Now, if Mick does Mick things, he's either going to go and win or he's going to spin off. There doesn't seem to be an intermediate with Mick, unfortunately. I can't answer the question as to why there isn't. It just doesn't seem to be. So, let's see how this one pans out as we wait now for the grid to go flicking through. There we go. And we're going to have Sir Alan Toon on pole, closely followed by Mick Barry, Andy Littler, Charles Kellerman, Martin Sampson and Darryl Wright, Tom Griffiths, Arnold Chagnon, Dan Hunt, Pete Newman, Miles Owens and Ewan Bramer. And then we've got John Sylvester, Jamie Ayres, Pete Van Gaal, Jason Addington and Dale Bennison. So it's either going to be all or nothing here, and I'm hoping we're going to get all. So Mick Barry and Andy Littler are going to be racing it out for 1, 2 and 3 with Alan Toon, but the lights are going to be coming on once more here. We are going to be underway for the final race of this evening. Here's a big puff of smoke from Tooney. He's got off the line. Barry's got off the line. So is Littler as well. How is this one going to pan out going down into turn 1? Is Tooney going to stay on the outside? Is Barry going to go through? Tooney's going for it. Go on now. He's actually leading the front of the race for the lap. Oh no, maybe not. And Littler's gone off as well. Littler went off as well.
Oh no.
Barry's out in front though. And he's doing a stellar job. He's out by nearly a second. Go on, Mick.
Mick Barry, ladies and gentlemen. History repeats itself. I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. Look at that. Oh my goodness me. That is scary. The potential that is there is scary. Dan Hunt picks his way up now into 5th place. Sir Alan Toon down to 6th after a corner in the lead. That's something. Pete Newman has had an incident. He's drowned. He's in the barrier. And that's race done.
Newman's in the wall. Oh no, that's, I didn't, oh, he tried to come back on track. At turn 4, he tried to come back on and unfortunately bumped in. PVG's had an accident with Martin Sampson.
Oh my God.
PVG is down the order. Martin Sampson's dropping down as well. Sampson's facing the wrong way as well. He's not even going in the right direction. Where is Andy Littler's all the way down in 11th? But it is Mick Barry out in front with Charles Kellerman and Tom Griffiths tucked up right behind him.
Defend, Mr. Mick Barry. Defend. I definitely didn't send him a message before the race saying, please win. Didn't do that. He's going to do it. He doesn't need my support. He's got it all by himself.
Did you actually?
He's leading. I did, yeah.
You did. Yeah. Nice. Good job.
It was just in all lowercase, just please win.
Okay.
I never spoke to him before. Just random message from this guy that talks about his pretend race cars. Please win. Just do it. Just do it. I hope that Griffiths and Kellerman battle this out for second so Mick Barry can run away with things. This is going to be such a good race. And this, if only this was the final lap. How good would that look?
It would be. There might be another moment, I've got to be honest, on this one as well. But Barry is still out in front here. Griffiths and Kellerman still battling out. They're going to run side by side. Are they going to run into each other? Hunt's got nowhere to go. The gap's opening up. It's nearly a second now to Mick Barry. 12 minutes remaining. He's got 6 laps. Can he hold on? But he has got the ever-looming Dan Hunt, who's just gone past Tom Griffiths, who's just about to go past Charles Kellerman, and now we need Griffiths and Hunt to fight it out here as well. I don't think anybody would be aggrieved if Mick Barry won. I'm not going to lie.
Even Hunt and Griffiths would be happy for him. They're too wide, they're too deep, and it's Griffiths and Hunt that, fortunately for us, go side by side. Very aggressive in the background, it must be said, with Ewan Bramer and Charles Kellerman into turn 6, and Hunt leads that fight for second. Outside line, though, the optical green car of Kellerman works his way through up to 4th under a bit of pressure. There's contact! Oh my word! And that has invited the Dutchman back through. But look at Hunt, look at Griffiths. They're fighting it out, and still with a second lead, it's Mick Barry.
Here's here as well. Mick Barry still out in front. Is this going to be a moment that we are all going to sit and relish? Because Griffiths and Hunt are quite quick. They could fight it out. They could cause a problem here.
They could. They both want to be in control is the thing. They both want to settle this before they get to Mick Barry. Hopefully they do anyway. Which means that the longer they fight, Mick Barry don't do that. Dan Hunt definitely do that. Running a little bit wide and causing Tom Griffiths. To be fair, we sound a little bit harsh because we're almost wanting these two to make it. No!
Oh, Mick!
I'm going home. I'm already at home. I don't know where I'd go. No!
Oh, Barry! No, he was in the lead by a second.
It's the same mistake he's made all evening as well.
And he's in the wall.
Mick Barry's going to do it. Mick Barry doesn't do it.
Oh, Barry.
I don't know whether or not to laugh or cry.
Oh, I don't know. Andy Littler's behind him. I wouldn't worry too much. Littler's just about to overtake him now. Barry's in the wall. Hunt and Griffiths as well. Oh, no. Oh, well. There we go. Our brief moment of ecstasy has gone out the window. I messaged Craig Jones as well, being Barry was the first AM to take the victory ever overall, saying Barry's leading race 4. Is he going to do it again? And Craig Jones, bless him, just went, yeah. And then and just messaged him saying he's just crashed. So, there we go. Unfortunately for Barry.
And he's behind Littler. I've got no reason to be happy in this race.
Well, no, but we've still got fighting going on with Ayres and Kellerman, so I suppose on that side of things we're still scrapping away. Andy Littler's got about an 8-second gap to Sir Alan Toon. Tooney's down in 12th now, Littler's in 13th. Then we've got Chagnon, Owens and Van Gaal. They're in front of us currently at the moment. Then there's like a big old gap to John Sylvester here. He's got 8 seconds behind, and he's got 2.5 up in front of him as well. So unfortunately for John Sylvester, he's kind of driving around all on his own. And Darren Hunt is there as well. As Zach hits his head on the computer.
My keyboard.
Yeah, it did definitely sound like Zach was up to no good, didn't it, there as well, Phil? I fully agree with you. But I'm also got to agree with the fact that I am slightly gutted. I've got to be honest, as Ayres now goes down into turn 1. Griffith sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:51.71. I'm upset as well, Zach. I've got to give you that.
Thank you. At least I've got some form of empathy in this.
Yeah, you've got my support, mate.
Yeah, I haven't got Phil's.
The only one that gets Phil's is me.
That's true. That's true.
Well, you can't help it.
Can you put Phil's support in your will?
I'd rather not talk about that at this time of my life, thank you very much. I'm not going to lie. I'd rather not be worried about that. As Griffith is going to have a go up Jamie Ayres through, up into Ferradura we go. And it is Griffiths, it is Hunt. They're swapping backwards and forwards. Then we've got Bramer and Ayres behind that as well. Hunt and Griffiths fighting out for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here as well. Is this all going to end cleanly here, Zach, or is it going to end up somewhat disastrous as Charles Kellerman is also trying to get into the mix here as well? Chagnon has just passed Pete Van Gaal and, well, nearly passed Pete Van Gaal. PVG had the inside and carried on there, holding on to that one as well. Andy Littler still not catching Alan Toon, about 8 seconds back. Barry's back out on track. Oh no, Barry's still in the pits there, unfortunately. It's not looking good for you, Zach, at the moment.
It is not, but it's fine because the other few races I've been miles ahead of James. Here's Griffiths to the inside of Daniel Hunt. They're fighting it out as they run their way through Juncal. Here comes Ewan Bramer tucked up to the inside through the chicane. The most action we've seen here probably for the entire evening, and Daniel Hunt very sensibly backs out of that one. What he has done is allowed the top two to break away nearly 8 cents of a second purely because he's backed out. Now under pressure from Jamie Ayres, who's having a sensational evening of racing, taking so many points out of PVG. Ewan Bramer and Tom Griffiths, look at that. Bramer is on a charge.
Yeah, Bramer's trying to get through here as well. Ewan Bramer, Hunt and Ayres, and Bramer's now trying to get onto the back of Griffiths. Griffiths there as well. You can see them. They are currently nose to tail once more here for these guys. The Flying Dutchman and Tom Griffiths. I'm going to presume he's Englishman. However, his name does sound Welsh, Griffiths. So I'm probably going to say the Englishman. They'll message me telling me he's Welsh. But here we go. Never mind. We'll get it right. Bramer's going to have a go. Is he going to be looking up the inside? He's not this time. On to the brakes we go. Down into second gear. Trying to avoid the off track. You sneeze at that curb and you get an off track. It's absolutely ridiculous. As we're going up into the Ferradura once more. Griffiths in front with Bramer, with Hunt, with Ayres. Ayres is there as well. I was almost expecting Kellerman to be up alongside Ayres. He's clearly dropped back a little bit as we go into the last 6 minutes here, Zach.
Yep, not long left to go at all. And there's still 6 minutes McBarry can win this race. No, there's not. That ship has well and truly sailed. And I hope it can be known that all hope from my voice has been lost. It's been shattered. My heart has been grabbed, squeezed, thrown, and broken into a million pieces.
Has it though? Really?
No, it really hasn't. I really don't care that much.
Well, you do. Don't give me that. We do care a little bit. You sound so.
We care a little bit.
We care a little bit. Yeah. As Griffiths and now Bramer through the chicane they go. Once more, single file. No man gets a slowdown this time around. The sight of Mick Barry there is in the wall. Mick Barry's ghost is out on track at the moment as well. Mick was doing so well and led for 2 laps before, unfortunately, he come a cropper of an inside bounce on the curb and then just lost the MX5 and around he went there as well. Bramer's trying to go up the inside into the curve of the so he does, makes it through. Is he going to be able to manage to get through? The centre S is in front. Griffiths is going to have a run though. Oh, Bramer's in the wall. And that's allowed Hunt to come up side by side now, and Hunt's going to take the lead once more here as well. So Dan Hunt now with Jamie Ayres. They're going to send it 3 wide. Griffiths is just alongside Hunt. They are 3 wide officially. No.
Wow.
Oh, he held it.
Ooh, he's got it. He's got it. He's managed to get a bit of an overlap. And now Hunt's under a bit of pressure. Jamie Ayres, by the way, if he can go win, second win, that is probably going to be one of the most perfect evenings he's going to get this season. Inside line for Dan Hunt, though. He's turned defense into offense very, very quickly. Jamie Ayres trying to go the long way round. Daniel Hunt trying to search for a race victory, and now inside line through the next right-hander. Tom Griffiths follows him through. Ayres all the way on the outside. Look at that run, straight back to the inside versus Daniel Hunt, and he keeps the race lead. Yes, no, he doesn't. This fight is sensational.
Yeah, Hunt going back at him again. Now around DePado on that run through Magello they go. They're still side by side. Ayres on the 46 on the inside. Hunt in the 07 DOF reality. Hunt's got to try and look at getting a run out of Juncal. Griffiths is trying to have a go as well. Kellerman. Then we got the SOBs of Sylvester and the recovering Ewan Bramer. Of course, we saw what happened to him going through into turn 1. But Ayres is going to lead this train through this chicane. And off they go once more. Now it's the run down into the line. Can Daniel Hunt get this on the run here? They've got one more after this one. Zach here. Who's going to take the victory, do you think?
Oh, Mick Barrett, no. Any of the top 3, really, top 4, top 5 even, could really do it. Here comes Daniel Hunt, though. He's found the inside line. Ayres gives him a very wide berth. That could play into his advantage, though. They pinch the gap at the apex. Daniel Hunt takes the lead as we enter the final couple of laps. Ayres, though, chucks it back to the inside through turn number 3. They're so close to contact, a little bit out of shape. And outside line, Tom Griffiths is able to pick his way up to the inside of Jamie Ayres. Are they going to run 3 abreast? The blue car of Griffiths threads the needle through the middle. The red and white of Daniel Hunt's on the inside. There's the metallic chrome red. That's Ayres. They're in formation, flying into turn number 4. Griffiths takes the lead.
Yeah, Griffiths out in front, Hunt, Ayres, and that is Ayres going on and off track. I'm not sure where he is currently. There he is at this moment in time, battling away with John Sylvester here. And Griffiths has now got the lead as he's going to be coming around up into the Ferradura. Hunt's going to nip up the inside. He's going to have the inside now for SA. Is he going to be able to make it through? Is Griffiths going to hang out around the outside? Griffiths has got to be later on the brakes. He needs the inside for Pinarino. He also needs to be able to get out of Pinarino, cut across the track, take Hunt's nose off if he can, because he needs that inside. Go now, and he has done. Over the side he goes as well. Listens to the advice I'm giving him here over his microphone in his ear. Hunt is now battling out with Ayres. Ayres is trying to run that inside line round into Magello. He's not going to get it this time. Drops down the hill. Ayres goes in alongside John Sylvester, and once more we're coming into Juncal, which will be the final lap of the race here for race 4.
It will be indeed, and still any of the top 5 can come out on top of this. Will it be Griffiths, Hunt, Ayres, Sylvester, Bramer? All of them arguably have the pace. All of them have fought valiantly for it, but it comes down to this. Less than a minute and 45 seconds on the clock. The white flag will be waved. Barney the flagman, the strongest right arm in sim racing, stands there proud, waves the flag prouder, and Daniel Hunt crosses the line in pursuit. Tom Griffiths has got a very hard work ahead of him. 3 wide once again as Ayres tries to pick his way to the inside. Hunt the long way round. Either side of Griffiths, they fight for the lead. Ayres has it, but Hunt's to the inside. Oh, he's round. Oh, my word. not at all. Jamie has got a nice little healthy buffer here, but he's got to be able to keep it. Griffiths might well be able to launch an attack side by side between Bramer and Hunt. That's the fight for fourth. Sylvester settled in third. I think it might be a two-horse race, provided all goes nice and swimmingly for the Welshman and the Englishman through Juncal. There's a send from Hunt to the inside of the penultimate corner. Now it's all about the chicane and off the track. Ewan Bramer. I think Hunt there might accept his defeat. Yeah, race 1 and race 4 were the two spotlights. Race 2 and 3 happened, but race 1 and 4 were where it was at. Brilliant displays of racing action. 27 thousandths of a second between Ayres and Griffiths. What more could you ask for? And Ayres is going to be asking himself the same question. A first, a second, a second, a first. That is huge news for him in the championship, particularly on a day where PVG hasn't been too strong. This is what happened on that final lap. I have to say, I think that's more a mistake from Hunt than anything. I don't think he meant to do that. Yeah, I think so. And it was a very interesting display of racing action all throughout the evening. Ups, downs, highs, lows, lefts, rights, this, that, the other. Loads of great memories and loads of great lows as well. Mick Barry crashing out over the course of race 4. We'll never forget it. And in the span of a few seasons, he's had the highest of highs at Interlagos and then the lowest of lows as well. But I think there's going to be plenty of happy faces. Equally, not many happy faces as well from a few. But, well, I don't think we could have asked for more. Obviously, with it being a little bit of a quirky Interlagos, we maybe could have had more with a longer run towards turn 1, but the chicane didn't take that much away. It was still a very interesting evening of racing.
round us out to the end of this broadcast once more. Thank you so much for joining us as always here, and once again from myself and Zach Sweeney, you all take care. Have a great race. No, oh my god, I got it wrong. All these times I say it and I still can't get it right. Right, from myself up here in the booth and Zach Sweeney, take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.